The first place Dodgers cannot trust their starting pitchers. There is a reason why Chargers general manager Tom Telesco sounds nonchalant about paying Justin Herbert, and Kyrie Irving is the name that, just like uncontrollable flatulence, cannot fade away. Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. It is May 29th, 2023, Memorial Day. It is a hell of a thing to sacrifice your life for somebody else's safety, for somebody else's life that they're living, their freedoms, etc. Take a moment and appreciate that sacrifice today. Also, we have added a new subscriber to the Angelino familia. Thank you. I always am thankful for every last one of you who joins in. Now, if you like being in the know about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yes, comment. It's a beautiful time to comment. Why not? Before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. JD Martinez went 2 for 5, hit a home run, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. The Dodgers lose to Tampa Bay 11-10. Now, this was a tough 10-game roadie for LA. They went to St. Louis, to Atlanta, to Tampa Bay. 2 starting pitchers get injured in the process. So all things being equal, the Dodgers are just kind of treading water until they get some healthy pitching. And we're going to talk more about that in a moment. Meanwhile, today, Washington is at the Dodgers. Bobby Miller is 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. Trevor Williams, 2-2 for the Nationals, 4.32. Now, the Dodgers have 5 injured starting pitchers. 5. Hell, 2 of them, like I mentioned, popped up during the road trip, and those were not insignificant things. We're talking about Julio Urias and Dustin May. In the here and now, it's troubling. It is. But in the big picture, how many times have we seen this from the Dodgers? The depth gets challenged, things settle down, they wind up getting in the playoffs. The thing that makes this feel a little different, even though it's probably not, is that the much ballyhooed Dodger depth in the minor leagues hasn't exactly been able to answer the call. Gavin Stone absolutely got clobbered in Tampa yesterday. He allowed 7 runs in 2 innings. Stone's ERA in 3 major league starts is over 14. And Dave Roberts did not commit to the rookie getting another bite at the apple. But in typical Dave Roberts fashion, he didn't sound like a baseball manager as much as he sounded like a human resources manager at an Amazon distribution site. Quote, "Given how today went, it's just prudent to reassess and make sure that whatever we do is best for Gavin and best for us." Speaking to somebody who's been dragged into HR more than once or twice in his life, that really sounds like, hey, here's your pink slip, here's your severance package, good night now. But I do want to give you a little bit of good news. Michael Grove made his second rehab start from a groin injury, 7 strikeouts on Saturday, only 5 hits and 5 2/3 innings Saturday for AAA Oklahoma City. So maybe a reinforcement coming soon. Clayton Kershaw, meanwhile, is frustrated. Remember, we talked about it. He was the NL Pitcher of the Month in April. His ERA in May is 5.55. And he's not ignoring this either. Quote, "My command just really became inconsistent. It's not really something I'm used to having to struggle with. Whether it's mental or mechanical, I'm not sure," unquote. Max Muncy, who was second in the National League in home runs with 17, got pulled from Sunday's game. He pulled up a little lame running the bases. It's described as left hamstring tightness. He is scheduled for an MRI today. Muncy said he doesn't really believe it's going to be a serious issue. So what does this all mean? We've talked about the starting rotation, Dodger depth. Oh my God, major home run source in the offense might be on the sidelines tonight. ESPN's baseball scribes held a roundtable, and they were asking, okay, who are the locks in NL to go to the playoffs? Who's the most disappointing? All of them said, that the Dodgers are a lock to reach the postseason. that the roster flux with LA will eventually settle in, like it always does, and they will hold first place. Now, who is most disappointing? Exactly, Slum Diego. Currently a half game out of last place. That winning the offseason doesn't equate to winning anything in the regular season. And by the way, who was saying that during the offseason? Because it wasn't them. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but beep, beep. Obviously, being a former sports writer, I talk a lot of crap about the current sports writers because a vast majority of them are absolutely terrible at their jobs. Not all of them, but a lot of them. For example, earlier today, I just read one mouth breather who compared Justin Herbert to John Morant. What? In what way? In what way does Justin Herbert look like John Morant? Is it the dunking? Is it dancing around with his guns for YouTube likes? I mean, what are we doing here? That's not an intelligent thing to write, but credit to Lindsay Theory of ESPN for trying to figure out how the Chargers can balance paying a king's ransom to their quarterback and still field a championship level team. She asked a smart question. Why is Chargers GM Tom Telesco so nonchalant about having to potentially pay Justin Herbert a record-breaking contract? I mean, just a mountain of money. A pile of dollar bills so high that even Lizzo could hang glide off the damn thing. Well, Telesco, she writes, has a binder in his office labeled Peyton Manning. He used to work, he being Telesco, with the Indianapolis Colts, and it's full of meticulous notes of what former Colts executive Bill Polian did. Telesco figured maybe one day I'm going to need to know this if I ever have a franchise quarterback. Now, Telesco did not go into specifics, other than to say that a lot of what is in that notebook, despite the fact that rules change over the years, a lot of what is in that notebook still applies to dealing with Herbert. What the Chargers are facing overall, though, she had to go outside the Chargers to get information. Said Bills general manager Brandon Beane, quote, "You've got to have a quarterback who understands the business and who's willing to ultimately have those conversations with his agent and us to find a deal that takes care of him, gives him the guarantees, gives him the money he needs." Now, you might think an agent like that would be like, screw that, right? Jerry Maguire, the whole point of that movie was screw that, show me the money, remember? But in real life, agents are actually saying no. Quarterbacks are willing to talk turkey because they want to keep some of the players around in order so that they have, the quarterback could get killed if he has just trash around him, right? Look at what happened with Matthew Stafford last year behind the Rams offensive line. You think Justin Herbert sees that and wants that to happen to him? Of course not. So, agent Chris Cabot represents Patrick Mahomes. And the agent said stability in ownership, coaching, and surrounding talent absolutely do play a role. Quote, "You can have it all. You can have the big contract and you can keep winning. It just takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of trust." Unquote. Now to recap, Jalen Hurts entered the league the same time as Herbert did. Hurts signed his extension with Philly over the offseason for 5 years, $255 million. That is about 22% of the salary cap. Now, can the Chargers do that? Going to have to keep that notebook in mind. But with the Colts, Peyton Manning. Manning signed a record-breaking contract back in the day with Polian. 2 years later, Manning was a Super Bowl champ. For that matter, Patrick Mahomes signed a massive record-breaking extension a couple of years ago. Kansas City, the people there, they panicked over all the players the Chiefs were about to lose, the Cheetah, other guys, and they still won the title this year. So if the Chargers are wise, if that notebook does have the proper path, the Chargers can still be a championship contending team. It's getting to the point, switching sports, where some blogger or TV blowhard will inevitably link Kyrie Irving to the Lakers, and I just want to start to get angry. Because no matter how many times I just pull everything back to reality, no matter how tight I make the knot, so that everybody stays moored to the planet Earth instead of floating out in the atmosphere with heady dreams of Kyrie Irving in purple and gold. It never works. It's always the same story every single day. Kyrie Irving to the Lakers. It's never happened. Not with Brooklyn, not with Dallas. Name someone, look, in order for Kyrie Irving to come to LA from the Mavericks, the best option is a sign and trade deal. So, you really think the Dallas Mavericks are going to trade with the LA Lakers? Not you personally, but you, the bloggers, you, the pundits on TV. Name someone who hates the Lakers more than Mark Cuban. Go ahead. Name someone. The only way you could find somebody who hates the Lakers more than Mark Cuban is if medical science could find a way to reanimate Red Auerbach's dead body. That's it. Former ESPN scribe Mark Stein went to his Substack and wrote that the Mavericks, quote, have no interest, unquote, in a sign and trade deal because it would only center around one Lakers free agent, and that would be D'Angelo Russell. Why would Dallas do that? Why? No kidding. There were reports yesterday that former Lakers lottery pick Lonzo Ball might not ever play in the NBA again due to a degenerative knee condition. And people now, they're all just trying to wish Lonzo Ball a successful comeback. I'm not one of them. Hell no, I'm not one of them. We have given Lonzo Ball a pass for his family for his entire career, right? Oh, Lonzo Ball, I like his defensive game. Oh, he's quick and he can run an offense and da-da-da-da. But man, his family, wrong. Lonzo Ball represents everything that people hate in sports. Hype and entitlement over substance. He came in like every other rookie as a flawed player, right? Every rookie comes in flawed. But instead of just quietly letting him work on his game to fix that funky looking shot that he had, all we heard from him, let me rephrase. All we heard from the Lakers and from his family was how he was can't miss. His number would be retired in the rafters at crypto.com, right? And scribes, because they're lazy, they kept jamming their microphone into the mouth of his father. And then all of a sudden, aside from the hype about how his father could outball Michael Jordan, how Lonzo was the fruit of his loins, and it was just going to be an orchard of tremendous basketball from his loins, then the family wants a reality TV show. Then there was this ugly brand of welfare sneakers that they came out with. Then the family tried to force the Lakers into drafting and hiring the entire family, or Lonzo would walk. Now, this wasn't just simply branding that you hear about a lot in social media today. That was extortion. And I realize all of those threats, because let's be real, they were threats, came from his idiot father. But just because Lonzo Ball did not make these idiot claims, they were made in his name. And Lonzo Ball is a grown-ass man. You were the adult. You had the responsibility to tell your father to pipe down, to shut the hell up. You did no such thing. So, I'm sorry. I'm not saying I was rooting for Lonzo Ball to get injured, but I am not sorry about wishing that Lonzo Ball would just go away. If he does not play in the NBA ever again, he's banked millions of dollars. There are bigger tragedies in life than Lonzo Ball not having his name and number hanging in the rafters of some arena. When the Sparks played in Vegas a couple of days ago, the Aces gave Sparks player Derica Hamby a championship ring. She had played in Vegas last season. And then, of course, she followed that up by successfully accusing the Aces of violating the WNBA's respect in the workplace policy because she was pregnant. So that's awkward. Hey, thanks to you, our head coach was suspended for 2 games. We lost a draft pick. What's your ring size? Let's hook you up with the bling. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread, though. Let me know about the state of Dodger baseball. Let me know if you think the Chargers can pull off paying Justin Herbert and being a championship level team. And if you enjoy talking LA sports, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.